Open Mind Alexander technique. I'm Jess. Today we're looking at what is in my bag of teaching shoes I keep in my office and why. They're all here for a reason. Why do I have them? So we're going to start with the most fun, exciting one. This one. So these are 7.5 inch, I think, and they also have a good bit of platform at the bottom. Now these are dance shoes. They're used for particular types of dance, and they're really fun. Having a buckle up here means that they don't fall off very easily. So this is the most exciting one and also the most confusing for people. Jess, you work with posture. Why do you have these? What's the point of this? Well, they're really fun. So what happens when you put these on? Well, your foot is going to need to bend at the ball of the foot area, but because of the platform that's under there, you actually don't have to bend that much. So this effectively is less of a heel in terms of the rise between where the actual ball of the foot rests. If we were to cut off the platform and everything below it, that is less of a heel than these. There's more of a difference between where the heel rests there. So these actually are not that bad. You do have to get used to them, as with any gear, right? If I were, say, a gymnast and I was working with a new apparatus, or if I, as a musician, was working with a different type of my instrument, say as a flute player, if I was learning to play piccolo instead of regular flute, or on the other spectrum of it, bass flute instead of regular flute. It's just different gear. There are different challenges with it. There are different things you need to be aware of. It's a skill set, and you can develop that skill set. If you're going to work with shoes like this, I would highly recommend you take some classes that would likely be at a local pole dance type studio or anywhere that does like dance fitness. Aerial dance studios will also have stuff like that. The teachers that work in places like that are excellent, and they tend to have really great body mechanics, because if they don't, they break themselves. So they're really fun. I also have this here in order to point out to my students, this is within the realm of possibility, while you have good use of yourself and good organization of yourself. So these basically are for proving a point. Do I wear these much? No, but that's okay. These are my standard, like if I want to show, hey, look, you can walk in heels, these are the ones I pull out. What I like about these is they have a little elastic right in here, and it actually helps your heel stay in place. So these really don't slide much. These are actually the same brand. The brand is Pleaser. You might hear Pleasers talked about as a type of shoe, meaning like your kind of stripper shoe or platform heels in general. It's actually a brand, and their heels tend to be really comfortable as far as heels go. So if you're going to get tall heels, check those out. The other reason that I have these here is to demonstrate, here's how you practice this. If I can put these on, and I can do any movement you ask me to do, I can squat, I can balance on one foot, I can bend, I can walk. There's no reason that for people who, like my musicians, perform in heels, that might be the only time they ever wear heels. Why are you wearing heels to perform? Because that's what we do. It might be required for a role, or it might just be, this is the one time that I really get to dress up. I get to wear my recital outfit. I get to look really nice. These are part of it. So work on it. There's technique to this. In the same way that there's technique to how do you hold the instrument in the first place without hurting yourself. So the other end of the spectrum to those, these are just standard character shoes. They are super flexible. They have a low heel. They're really slick on the bottom. I originally got these for partners dance with blues dance, fusion, a little bit of swing dance. That's what these are for. These were my dance shoes. They also have a buckle, so they're not going to come off once you have them on. And this lets you have a lot of range of motion. I got these from a dance shoe store, so they are specifically dance shoes. I have these here so that if someone wants to work with how are we wearing character shoes on stage, or just how do we move in low heels in general, here's how we do it. The final pair I've got, I also got for partners dance. This is just for fusion. The kind of fusion that I was doing was specifically blues-inspired fusion. Fusion dancing just means a mixing of different styles, a fusing of different styles of dance. So the way that these work, put them on here for a second, they're basically half ballet slippers. So they go on over the toe, and then you've got these two straps here. So the way these work is you put one strap behind the heel and then the other, so this holds it in the middle as well as on the sides, and then this is super flexible. This can go anywhere you want it to go. And I would generally be barefoot under this, so it would have the stickiness of my actual heel of my foot, the skin on the floor, and that lets you do things like plant your foot and pivot, and do movements that allow sliding here, but not here. So those are my different shoes that I've got in my studio so that I can show my students, here are the things that are available. Here's an example of someone who hopefully is pretty well coordinated with them, and at the very least comfortable with them. I'm comfortable with all of these shoes. So what I would encourage you to check out is, how are you choosing what shoes you're wearing? If you're looking at a really big range of shoes, like the difference between these two, these are very different shoes. How are you still the common factor between those extremes? How is the organization of yourself still the same, whether you're in 7-inch platforms or half ballet slippers? This is still here. Your head still connects to your neck between your ears. Freedom of movement along all of these different joints by not holding yourself into place all the time leads to more ease and better coordination. So get curious about it and find your common factors in how you're moving, regardless of your equipment.